question 1 asks you to simplify this thing. So first of all, we want to find the common denominator. So let's look at this first. This, you can expand it to a minus 1 times a plus 1. So as you can see, this is just this, and this a minus 1 is also here. So that means that a squared minus 1 can be our common denominator. Now we just subtract. So a squared minus 1, our numerator will be 2 times a minus 1. And then for the next fraction, it will be 1 times a plus 2. And then this is just the same. Okay, now we can put this all into one fraction. So we have 2a minus 2 minus a minus 1, and then plus 2a. So this is equal to 3a minus 3 over a squared minus 1. So if we take out the 3 from the numerator, we'll get 3 times a minus 1 over a squared minus 1. So we know that a squared minus 1 is just this expanded. So we can divide, we can divide everything by a minus 1 to get 3 over a plus 1 as our answer. Question 2. So first of all, we want to find the x-intercepts. So basically these, you can't really see that, these 2 points, okay? And from this graph, we can see that our x-intercepts are just -1, 0, and 3, 0. So from all these equations that they give you, all these functions, we can see that the factors of fx have to be x plus 1 and x minus 1, since that's the only way these points will be satisfied. And from this, we can see that only a and e have x plus 1 and x minus 1, and that means that one of these are our answers. So for a, it actually can't be a, since the plus 2 here messes things up, since the plus 2 will shift the graph up, I think, or maybe down. But either way, it'll shift the graph either up or down, so that means the x-intercepts won't actually be -1 or 3. So that means A does not work, and our answer is E. So question 3, we want to find B minus 2A. So let's just first expand this whole equation out. So we can have x squared minus 2ax minus 6a, and that's equal to bx squared plus 6bx plus 9b squared, and then plus 9. So we know that, here's the thing, okay? These two have to be equal, and then these two have to be equal since they both have the x. And then that means that these two have to be equal. So if we know that x squared is equal to bx squared, then that means that b is just equal to 1. And now that we know that, we can do 2AX Sorry, my thing crashed, so I'm going to log back in real quick. Okay, we were on okay, anyways, so we were at, let me just expand this again. Okay, 6bx plus 9b squared plus, okay. Anyways, we know that b is 1, and we know that negative 8x has to equal to 6bx. So, if we know that b is 1, that means that negative 8x is equal to 6b. Well, just 6, actually. We don't need this x, actually. So that means that a is equal to negative 3. And we can just put this back in here. 1 minus 2 times negative 3 is just equal to 7. And that is our answer. Okay. Question 4. I try to draw this as close as possible. So we know that this triangle is a isosceles right triangle. And let's just call this point A. Let's call this point B, O, and then let's call this P, this point Q, and we're gonna call the midpoint of the triangle M. So if we connect O to M, then we form another two more isosceles triangles. So basically AM is equal to OM. That's an isosceles triangle. And let's just let AB be equal to 6x. If AB is equal to 6x, well, it's an isosceles triangle since AOB is an isosceles triangle. So if you do the bisector thingy, where, well, if M is the midpoint of AB, that means that just splits the entire thing into two isosceles triangles. Okay, so we're just gonna let AB equal to 6x, and that just means, that AM is half of that, so 3x, and that means OM is also 3x. And if we connect O to P, then we know that AP is 2x and PM is x. So the problem states that P and Q will be trisecting the triangle. So that just means that AP, by trisect, it means that AP is equal to PQ and QB. So PM is x, since 2x divided by 2 is x, and AP is 2x. So now that we know that, we also know that the radius of the circle is 10. OP is the radius, so that's 10, and we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find x. So we can do 3x squared plus x squared is equal to 10x. And that means that 10x squared is equal to 10 squared. And that means x squared is equal to 10. So x is just equal to square root of 10. Okay, now we just have to find the area of the triangle. The area of triangle AOB. So that's just equal to half times the base, AB, times the height, OM. Okay, so we know that AB is 6x. So we do 6 times root 10. And we know that OM is equal to 3x. So 3 times root 10. And this is just equal to like half times 180 or 90. Question 5. You probably need a calculator to do this. Well, you do need one. So anyways, basically an open box is formed by cutting out squares from each of the corners. So I'm just going to draw the squares in. All of these squares are identical. So yeah, I'm just going to connect this kind of. Okay, so if we let the side of the square that we cut out be x, so you have x and x, then we know that this thingy is just 12 minus 2x, and that means that this is 9 minus 2x. And that means that the volume of the entire box is x times 12 minus 2x times 9 minus 2x. So you're taking away all of these boxes. Well, you're cutting them out. So when you fold all of these flaps, yeah, when you fold them up, then they'll form an open box. And to find the volume of this box, you'll have to, well, you can graph it, or you can do calculus, but that's hard. So the easiest way to do this is to graph it. That's why I said calculator active. You'll need to use a graphing calculator. And I have a picture, yeah. So I graphed this online using Desmos. And basically my function was just y is equal to x times 12 minus 2x times 9 minus 2x. So y is also our v, our volume. And basically, you want to find the maximum. Well, in this case, your x can't be anything past 6 or just 5, actually. So it has to be below 6. Since anything past 6, well, if our x is 6, then one of the sides of the boxes will just be like 0. So that's impossible. So that means that we just have to find the maximum between 0 and 6. Well, actually, between 0 and 4.5, since if you solve this out, if you set that equal to 0, then our x is just like 4.5. But basically, you just want to find the maximum. When you graph it, you'll just